Welcome to the front line, boys. Listen closely because your golden years are one single mistake away from turning into a total financial nightmare in a dusty Manila slum. You think that sweet Filipina loves your soul? Wake up, Joe. She loves the 1st and the 15th of every month. Dating in the Philippines is like playing high stakes poker against a pro who knows your hand. I'm giving you a war manual today, a numbered list of survival, because in this market, you're either the player or the jackpot. Pay attention. I've seen it all from the inside, from the high end condos in Makati to the tin roofed shacks in the provinces. I am your insider, your tactical guide through this beautiful, dangerous minefield. You arrive with a pension and a lonely heart, thinking you found a shortcut to paradise, but the reality is much colder. Each smile she gives you is a bet, and every I love you is a strategic raise. If you don't audit her intentions with clinical rigor, you won't have a partner. You'll have a biological heir before you're even buried. You're likely 50, 60, maybe freshly divorced and tired of the cold western grind. You've got a bit of money, a decent social security check, and you want to feel alive again. But here's the deal, your time and your dollars are limited assets in an aggressive survival market. The local families aren't just relatives, they are tactical advisors on how to extract every cent from the Americano before he's even in the ground. You've been warned because out here, your ego is your biggest, most expensive liability. Keep your focus. In this archipelago, you aren't just a man, you are a long term winning lottery ticket. The fatal mistake you're making right now is believing that Asian sweetness is a shield against financial calculation. It's not. It's the bait. If you play this game with your heart on your sleeve, you'll end up old, alone, and without a single dime in your cargo shorts. I'm here to make sure you keep your frame and your funds. This isn't a Hallmark movie, it's a tactical deployment. Keep your eyes wide open now. Think of your stay here as one long session at the casino. Every dinner, every emergency medical bill for her sick Carabao, and every talk about marriage is a chip you're putting on the table. Are you playing for the long haul or just throwing your life savings into a black hole? The house always wins unless you know the mechanics of the scam. I'm going to show you exactly how they hunt your benefits before you even step off the plane. Take a seat, clear your head, and focus. We're about to dive deep into the 5 rules of engagement that will save your life. This is the difference between being a king in a tropical paradise and being a broken ATM for a clan of 20 people you barely know. If you ignore what I'm about to tell you, don't come crying when your bank account hits zero and she suddenly loses her phone. Before we start, look in the mirror and answer one thing honestly. Tell me, Joe, do you want love, sex, or survival? You've set foot in the urban jungle of Manila, thinking your white skin is a bulletproof vest. It's not, Kuya. Let's look at the map of your first mistake, the premature benefit audit. If that sweet dalaga starts asking exactly how Uncle Sam sends your monthly deposit, you aren't on a romantic date. You're being interviewed by a forensic accountant. Why does she need to know who your beneficiary is before she even knows your middle name? She's scouting your financial perimeter for a tactical breach. Are you ready for that? Now, watch your step because the road is rigged with IEDs, what I call the Phantom Emergency Protocol. It's payday, the first of the month, and suddenly her Lola has a mysterious fever or the family Carabao just dropped dead. This is an ambush designed to test your provider elasticity. My friend Gary ignored this, became a human ATM for 20 relatives in Cebu, and ended up eating instant noodles while they feasted on lechon. If you give in now, you're just funding a lifestyle that isn't yours. Do you understand the risk? Then comes the paperwork gambit, a classic Trojan horse maneuver. She's whispering about marriage after 3 weeks, but it's not about the ring, it's about the certificate of dependency. She wants her name stamped on those VA forms so she's legally tethered to your pension until the day you stop breathing. I've seen men rush into these contracts of love only to find they've signed away their exit strategy. Is her kiss worth the legal title to your remaining years? You're walking right into a pincer movement without even checking your six. Look at the other Joes at the bar, slumped over their San Miguels, wondering where the money went. They ignored the tactical signs because they were too thirsty for validation. You're competing in a market where your only utility is your USD balance, and the moment you lose focus, the family tactical advisors will flank you. If you don't audit her intentions with the same coldness she uses to audit your bank account, you're already a casualty. Do you want to be a king or a footnote in a local scam? You think these first three mistakes are bad? You're just dealing with the infantry right now. These are the basic traps for the low level suckers, the easy level of the Philippine survival game. But the next stage of this war manual is where the real damage happens, where your lifestyle starts to sink like a ship overloaded with parasites you can't shake off. Pay very close attention because what comes next isn't just about losing some pocket change. It's the error that systematically destroys your entire reputation and your very last cent. You're settling in, feeling like a local king, but are you the captain of your ship or just a passenger in a taxi driven by a girl who knows all the shortcuts to your bank account? This is where the internal war starts, Kuya. She isn't just looking at your wallet anymore. She's looking at your desperate need for validation. Are you steering this relationship, or are you letting her pick the destination while you just pay the meter? If you don't grab the wheel now, you're just a tourist in your own life. Watch out for the lifestyle feature creep, a slow motion ambush that sinks your retirement ship. It starts with a better AC unit, then a newer scooter, and suddenly you're funding a lifestyle that eats every single cent of your USD margin. She's clearing the plate so you have zero reserves left to escape her grip. Why does she want you broke and dependent on the local economy? Because a man with a full bunker can leave, but a man with empty pockets is a prisoner. Establish your fixed peso budget today or sink. Now, let's talk about the ROI-based affection withdrawal. Is the bedroom suddenly freezing cold because you didn't buy her that gold necklace at the mall? You're dealing with a human vending machine, not a partner, Joe. If her kisses only bloom after a bank transfer and wither when you say no, you aren't in a romance. You're in a high-cost subscription service. Go 1 week without spending an extra cent on treats and see if she still looks at you with that same Asian sweetness. It's time to audit the intimacy. Your biggest enemy isn't her. It's your own ego screaming to be the provider. You want to be the hero, but in this market, being the hero just makes you the biggest sucker at the expat bar. They are laughing at you behind your back while you're busy trying to buy a love that isn't for sale. Are you strong enough to watch her pout and walk away when the money stops flowing? If you can't handle the silence of a cold bed, you've already lost the war for your own dignity. We're moving into the darkest part of the jungle now, where the traps are psychological and the stakes are your very soul. You think you can negotiate your way into her heart using your pension as a bridge? You're wrong. You're building a bridge to a cliff and walking across it blindfolded. Stop trying to buy a future with a woman who only sees you as a past due bill. Everything shifts the second you stop commanding your own reality. The game changes when you stop negotiating with hope. Listen up, Joe, because we're done with the autopsy and moving into live fire drills. You're on the runway now, and in this Philippine market, you don't get to take off unless every single item on my tactical checklist is green. Stop being a sentimental tisoy and start acting like the pilot of your own destiny. I'm shifting you from a target to a tactical operator starting right now. This isn't about feelings anymore. It's about logistics, leverage, and the cold hard math of survival in Manila. Your first move is the binary filter, a ruthless screening process to separate the partners from the parasites. Ask yourself one question. If your USD pension vanished tomorrow and you were living on local sari sari store credit, would she still be whispering sweet nothings in your ear? If the answer isn't a lightning fast yes, you're looking at a mercenary, not a girlfriend. You need to view every interaction through this lens of utility. Is she investing in you, or is she just harvesting your seasonal crop? Now, execute the supposed crisis maneuver to smoke out her true intentions before she sinks her claws into your VA benefits. Tell her your bank account is frozen for a security audit and you can't touch a single cent for a month. Watch her face closely, Kuya. Does she offer to cook you a simple meal of sinigang? Or does she suddenly have a family emergency that requires her to travel back to the province immediately? Her micro expressions during this fake poverty test are your ultimate survival map. Establish your fixed peso perimeter today and never, ever show her the screen of your American banking app. You are the captain, and the captain never reveals the full depth of his treasure chest to the crew during a storm. Set a strict monthly allowance that fits the local economy, not your Western ego. If she pushes for feature creep or luxury upgrades, that's your signal to prepare for an emergency landing. A man who controls the resource flow is a man who keeps his dignity. We are clearing the tarmac and preparing for the final approach, where the real combat happens in the streets of Makati and the beaches of Palawan. Grab your notebook and lock these rules into your brain because once you're in deep, your emotions will try to sabotage your bank account. You've been the prey long enough. It's time to become the hunter of your own peace. Get ready, because in the next act, I'm showing you exactly how to execute these field maneuvers without breaking a single sweat. Imagine it's the 15th, the family is blowing up her phone, and the bedroom is a frozen wasteland. This is the ping pong match of your life, Joe. If you react to her emotional spin without a solid stance, you've lost the point before the ball even crosses the net. Are you going to smash back or fold like a cheap beach chair? In this Manila market, your hesitation is her biggest payday. Don't let the heat of the moment melt your strategic perimeter. Stay frosty. She's executing the cold bed maneuver, waiting for you to crack and buy her affection with a shopping trip to SM Mall. You're standing there, thirsty and lonely, while she calculates the exact ROI of her next kiss. If you pay now, you're just a trick, not a king. Hold your ground, Kuya. Show her that your desire isn't a debt you're willing to settle with USD. When the bedroom goes silent, your resolve must be louder. Can you handle the quiet? Answer me. Suddenly, her brother is at the door with a business opportunity that looks suspiciously like a total financial scam. They're surrounding you like wolves at a campfire, testing if your no is negotiable. This is the ultimate pincer movement, Joe. If you give a single inch to the clan, you're funding a lifestyle that will eventually starve your own retirement. Be the wall, not the bridge. They want your pension, but you need your peace. Are you a provider or just another easy prey? Now, look at the result when you follow my manual. You said no to the fake medical bill, and guess what? She's still there cooking your favorite adobo because she realized the ATM is locked, but the man is still valuable. You've successfully audited her soul by cutting the resource flow. This is the win, Joe. You kept your USD in the bunker and your dignity in the room. You aren't just surviving the Philippines, you're finally dominating the game. Feel that power yet? Here is the ultimate sentence of this war. A woman who loves your soul will protect your wallet, but a woman who loves your wallet will eventually destroy your soul. You've passed the fireproofing, but the street never stops testing your frame. This is the last law of the jungle before we close the bunker doors. If you can't be the shark, don't even step into the water. Are you ready for the final command to lock in your legacy? Pay very close attention. Listen up, operator. We've dismantled the village love myth and looked directly into the cold eyes of the Philippine survival market. You've learned to spot the insurance inspector, the asset hijacker, and the logistic Trojan horse before they could breach your financial perimeter. Remember the metaphor of the bee and the flower? A bee doesn't beg a flower to open, it brings the value of pollination at the exact right timing. If you're buzzing around with desperation and an open wallet, you aren't a king. You're just a pest to be swatted away once your honey is gone. Your transformation from a lonely retiree to a strategic expat is now complete. Never forget the final law of the jungle. A woman who truly loves your soul will move mountains to protect your wallet. But a mercenary who loves your wallet will systematically dismantle your soul. Your USD pension is the fuel for your freedom, not a charity fund for a clan of 20 strangers. Keep your heart in the tropical clouds if you must, but keep your bunker locked tight. You've been given the tactical map. Now it's time to execute with surgical precision. If this war manual just saved your retirement or opened your eyes to a scam you are currently walking into, I need you to drop the word strategic in the comments right now. Your engagement keeps this frontline operational against the tide of exploitation. Smash that like button and subscribe if you want to stay the hunter instead of the prey. We are building a community of men who refuse to be the sucker at the expat bar. Don't let your brothers walk into the minefield alone. Share this intelligence before it's too late. Knowledge is incredibly cheap compared to the devastating price of being naive in Manila. If you found value in this briefing, consider supporting the mission through a super thanks or a direct PayPal tip. It keeps the lights on at the bunker. Within the next 24 hours, I want you to audit one expense you're currently paying for her. Cut the resource flow and watch the mask. Protect your funds, command your frame, and never let them see your full hand. Stay sharp, Kuya. I'm out, but the bedroom is always waiting for a winner.